So if you watched my video, my 5-star day, you might have seen me training with an MMA coach. This wasn't the first time I had done it, even though in the video it might have looked like the first time. So I trained MMA for about 1.5 years, something like that. I wasn't good at it.
Yeah, I wasn't very good at all.
I'm not claiming that it was the best thing I ever did, but what I was trying to do is find the end. Because if you find your end, you know where the real work starts. If I know where I start to fall apart, then that's where I really need to focus my efforts to get stronger, to get better, right? The first rule really of fighting is that you never give your opponent your back. You'll often see though in a fight, a guy does give their opponent their back, and why would they do this? This actually brings me to the first reasons that I believe entrepreneurs quit or give up. And that's because they're just tired of getting beat up, right? This isn't one of those lives where it's like, it's warm and fuzzy. You're gonna get beat up constantly. Even successful entrepreneurs are getting beat up all the time, because if you have something, somebody else is working to take that away from you all the time. There's competition that's after you all the time. So when you see a guy in the MMA and he just starts crawling away, he's just like, just end it, just end it. He just doesn't want to get beat up anymore. And I see this, I wouldn't say over and over, but I see people, they start a business or they start making investments and it's going okay for a while, they're fired up. And then at some point, they start to make excuses and they start to justify reasons why they have to slow down, you know? Things are unfair, the market's unfair, whatever. The truth is, they just can't take the beat downs. It's just too hard on them. The first videos I did on this channel were for McCoy's Business College. And one of the things I said that was contrary to what a lot of channels and entrepreneurial sources say is that I said, this isn't for everybody. And that's the reason why, is because you're gonna get beat up all the time. A lot of people just can't handle that stress. So if that's you, then this may not be the thing for you, right? It's better really to know that now than before you take that leap and go start a business or do something, because it's not going to be easy. And it may get to a point where it's easy for a while and then it becomes hard again, because like I said, a competitor or whatever is happening, just like the pandemic right now, I have been under a lot of stress lately because it's hard to find labor. And not only is it hard to find labor, but every time somebody coughs, it's like, is that corona? Like, what do we need to do? There's a lot of unknowns right now, and for me, unknowns are scary. So how would you avoid getting fatigued from getting beat up? That kind of brings me to the second thing that I would say causes people to give up when they're gonna start a business or make an investment or something like that. They can't grow out of that feeling that they're out of their comfort zone. For you to learn, you have to get out of your comfort zone. When I was young, 19, 20 years old, and I was starting my business, I would read stuff like this. I would read like Accounting for Dummies, because I was a dummy, right, at accounting and different things that I needed to get stronger in. And not only would I read about them, I would ask people that knew a lot about them. I would surround myself with information. And at the time, math was one of my weakest things. Accounting was something I really had no idea how to do, but I grew, right? I did the same thing with sales. I didn't know anything about sales. When I was younger, I was very introverted. I'm still pretty introverted, but when I need to sell, I can sell, right? That's a learned skill. It's something that I spent a lot of time developing. I read books, I watched YouTube videos, I listened to audio tapes about sales. I went with salesmen. That was how I learned some of my best skills. Is when I started hiring salesmen, I would go with them and I would learn things from them, right? So I surrounded myself with things that made me stronger in these areas that I was weak. If you do not think you can grow out of your comfort zone, you might end up quitting. So everybody is wired differently as a product of their genetics and also as a product of their environment. So we're all going to have things we're strong in the beginning. But what you can't do as an entrepreneur or business owner is say, oh, I'm good at sales, so I let somebody else handle all the accounting. Or I'm really good at accounting, so I let somebody else handle all the sales. You have to get decent at all of them, right? To be successful. So a big part of being an entrepreneur is just growing out of that zone where you feel uncomfortable in your capabilities or abilities. And this is why a lot of people quit. So the third thing, and this is a hard one, is you just have a bad idea. I hate that. You know, I get a lot of calls from people and they're like, you know, you inspired me to go do something and this is what I'm thinking. And I don't know everything, right? But I've seen a lot of stuff and I look at their idea or their project and I say, you know, I just don't think this is gonna work. Yeah, it happens to me. I've had bad ideas. I could do a whole video about all the bad ideas I've had. But I think that's one of the reasons that people quit is their idea just doesn't gain traction. I started making these videos to try to bring value to people that want to make investments, that want to start a business, and I think it's going pretty good. This is video like 26, I think. If you find value in these, please share them, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notifications, and I will see you soon in the next one.